Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Yashamai from the GMS Atlantic Camp. Before I get into this message, I want to start off by giving all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kwakadash. And I want to send double honor to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone, who will teach well. This is Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Today, I filed a claim, which is what I've been doing insurance work for several years, but I help homeowners through their insurance claim on getting them a new roof paid for by the insurance company. Today, when I left this lady's house, I walked her through the process. I said, we're going to make this phone call to your insurance company. They're going to ask us three questions. What was damaged, when, um, what was damaged when, and what was the cause. Then they're going to tell us. Then they're going to give you a claim number. Then they're going to give you the adjuster's name and number. Then the adjuster's going to call you. And I told her, this is exactly what's going to happen. We made the call. That's exactly what happened. She got off the phone. She said, wow, you've been doing this for a while. And I said, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. But, and then afterwards, when I left, I said, do you have any more questions? And she said, no, you've been very thorough. I'm ready. Go ahead. The job is yours. Before I showed up to this lady's house, though, she didn't know what to expect. She was scared. Am I going to get approved? Am I going to get denied? But when I told her what was to happen and she saw everything that I said was happening, that gave her like, okay, he knows what he's doing. Go ahead, you got it. The job is yours. That's Isaiah 33 and 6, because Yahweh, through the prophets, through the elders and the apostles, has forewarned us of what's to happen. And that's our treasure. See, when the power grid goes off, our treasure is, we've been told right now, the scriptures are telling us there's going to be a famine of the word. Babylon's going to be destroyed. Egyptian shall rise against Egyptian. There shall be sedition amongst men. There shall be like madmen sparing none. Yahweh has given us, just like I told that lady, this is what's going to happen, and it happened, and then she was good with it. She went through with it. That's how we are. And this isn't a new revelation for me, but this is something that as I'm seeing the change in her mannerisms from when I first started speaking with her, I'm like, wow, okay, so now she's calm. And it made me think about who we, blacks, Hispanics, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, you Hebrew Israelites, that's how we are. You see, Yahweh has set up watchmen to tell you what's happening, right? This is Ezekiel 33 and 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them for me. So the watchman is only to warn the Israelites, because salvation is only for the Israelites. See, doom is coming, but doom is coming to Babylon the Great, and we are to warn the house of Israel. It's not talking about a specific house, but it's talking about the bloodline, you so-called blacks, you so-called natives, you so-called Hispanics. It says, verse 8, when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die. If you do not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Now that we have this truth and understanding, we're supposed to share it with Israel, only with the house of Israel. Not, we're not supposed to cast our pearls among swines. You know, this salvation and the message is going out for you Hebrew Israelites, and specifically to the elect, those predestined, according to Ephesians 1, verse 1 and 4 and 5. Those that have been predestined to hear this word, those who have his name written on their foreheads, singing and dancing onto this new song, the 100% doctrine. So the Most High is saying, if you don't warn them, then their destruction, he will require it of it. Now, I'm going to bring it back to the scenario that I just left. If I didn't tell this lady what to expect, you know, things could have gone left. She would have been surprised. She would have been on the phone. Hey, what do I tell? And whose fault would that have been? That would have been mine. And so the same thing Yahweh is saying is, we have to put this word out. We have to do our messages. We have to cry out in the chief marketplace, because if now that we have it and now that we know it, we are now watchmen. See, there is no schooling that that is required for you to be a watchman as an Israelite. I mean, there is, but I'm saying there is no formal education. You just have to know the scriptures. And once you know the scriptures, you're supposed to warn people, right? Verse 9, nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. When the warning goes out, if you people don't listen, then the blood isn't on our hands, but it's on your hands. You've been warned. So again, going back to the scenario, if I'm telling this lady, hey, this is what's going to happen, make sure you tell them this, and she doesn't do it, and her claim gets denied, it's on her. I gave her the information, but she didn't go forward with it. Just like a child, when you tell them, hey, don't put that fork in that socket, but if they do it, whose fault is it? It's not your fault, because you weren't being a negligent parent. You were sounding the trumpet, but the child still did it. See, that's how we are. Let me give you a final example here. Do you guys remember at school, or even at the workplace now, or even in the city, shit, they will make an announcement a week or a couple days in advance, where they say, we're going to test the fire alarms, or we're going to test the tornado sirens. And so you know it's coming. So when the sirens are going off, or when the fire alarm's going off, what do? You don't trip, because you were foretold about it. But if you weren't foretold about it, because there are some people that are not, that don't hear the warning, right? Just like Ezekiel. I mean, yeah, just like Ezekiel, if they don't hear the warning, they start to freak out, right? The men of Great Millstone are warning you of what's to come. And that warning is a gift, because if you hear that, when you hear that alarm going off and it's been forewarned, it doesn't even phase you, man. It doesn't even phase you, right? So that's what this short message, I want to put this out there, was because today I saw I can see in the attitude of this lady change in front of me, where she wasn't aware of what to expect. She was asking a bunch of questions, but once she saw that everything that I was saying was true, and this isn't to hold myself to a high standard or whatever, but the point is that I knew what was to come, and I told it to her. And when she saw everything come, her attitude changed, and that reminded me of Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, because when the famine happens, when the famine of the word happens, when the lights go out, when there's sedition amongst men, when all hell breaks loose, when shit really hits the fan, we're not going to trip, because to us, it's going to be like that fire alarm that we were warned about. Hey, this is supposed to happen, man. But, and that's a gift. That's why it says the fear of Yahweh is his treasure, because and that really is going to be our treasure, because while a lot of people are going crazy, we're not going to be going crazy. That's the treasure. Because if I didn't tell this lady, she would have gone through the whole process bugging out. But I told her, and just just as we're gonna go through this thing, we're not gonna go through this thing bugging out. Damn, we're not gonna go through this thing bugging out. You know, this is our treasure. This is the gift. This is the gift, man. So, anyways, I hope this lesson has been edifying, and with that, I say, shalom.